Well, good morning, gamers! I think I've gotten a new intro to my DnDailies here. I like saying that. I like saying good morning, gamers! It feels good to me. Anyway, hey, I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D. Welcome to another DnDaily. This is DnDaily 51. And I'm going to continue doing this for a while. Probably will do this for the whole campaign, the Kickstarter campaign for Vox Machina and their incredible offering to do an animated series. Oh my goodness, yeah, series, that is correct, series. It was supposed to be an animated special, and because, as I've mentioned, they have blown their initial ask out of the water. They asked for $750,000 to do an animated special. They are currently, as of, this is Friday, March 8th, they're at like close to, if not over, $6.5 million for this project. So awesome! It is so awesome. It's a series now. They're going to do 6 episodes already. And their next stretch goal, which is $7.5 million, which I'm kind of thinking they're going to get that, is another 2 episodes in the Briarwood arc. So the Briarwood arc, if you don't know, that again, Critical Role, if you're listening to me and you don't know about Critical Role, I'm surprised, because that means this might be your first time checking out one of my videos, which is cool. Thank you. In the meantime, as soon as you're done watching this quick video, go check out Critical Role. They're an amazing D&D game. They've been playing for a couple years now, several years now actually. They've been streaming for a few. They're in their second campaign. Vox Machina was their first campaign. Currently, they're in the Mighty Nine. Those are the names of the groups. Well, goodness gracious, the Briarwood arc was one of the most popular arcs from Campaign 1. It revolves around the character Percy, who is a gunslinger, which is sort of an unusual character to play in Dungeons & Dragons. Guns in Dungeons & Dragons have been around for a while, but a lot of DMs didn't really want them in their game, and that's okay, that's the way it is. However, in 5e and in the greater community of Dungeons & Dragons, it's sort of moving towards basic, simple, firearms being allowed or welcomed into games. I mean, it's a weird, this is a fantasy, right? So flintlocks and like that kind of thing. Nothing too fancy or high-powered or, over the top, out of control. These things are of course deadly. They're weapons. However, they're toned down because of the game. They're balanced pretty well for the game, in my opinion. Anyway, Percy the Gunslinger, the Briarwood arc, that is, they already have enough in the Kickstarter to do the first little bit of that arc. And then if everybody gets together and we get to that next I'm a critter, I guess, so if we get to the $7.5 million mark, then we're going to have 2 more sessions of the Briarwood arc. I mean, this is so cool. If they got to the point with this where they animate the whole campaign, I'm at a loss for words, folks. I really, literally don't even... and I'm just a dude who loves the show. Can you imagine how awesome they all must feel right now? I mean, just imagine, like, I'm so happy for especially Matt and Marisha and Taliesin and Ashley and Liam and Sam and Travis and Laura, the players and the DM. I'm so happy for them. And everyone behind the scenes, I mean, all the crew running the shows, taking care of the sound, taking care of the audio, taking care of the web hosting, taking care of the Twitch stream, there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Wow. It's so exciting. I feel like I can't stop talking about it. And I'm going to continue talking about it for as long as this Kickstarter is going. For now, though, I want to go back to what I was sort of getting to yesterday. I got a bug right now. I have a bug for this artificer class. I really feel like I need to look into it. After I recorded the DnDaily yesterday, I actually went and listened to some of the Dragon Talk, which, if you're not familiar with Dragon Talk, is a podcast or a video VOD, whatever, podcast / VOD that is done by Wizards of the Coast, and it is people from WTC who are actually like the developers and everything, and they are talking about the products and the bigger, greater scope. So I was listening to that yesterday and really fascinated. So maybe you've heard of the realm of Eberron. I've talked a little bit about realms in some past DnDailies. I will talk more about realms because I think it's a really important aspect of Dungeons and Dragons to understand the realms. What are the realms? What do they mean? What realm am I playing in? All that kind of stuff is important. For instance, like Tal'Dorei, Matt's world is essentially a realm within the greater D&D multiverse or universe. So, multiverse, yeah. Anyway, so enough about realms. Eberron, I didn't know that the artificer essentially is rooted in the world of Eberron. Like, Eberron is where they kind of come from, I suppose. Now, in the PDF that they've released, where they revisited this artificer, they actually tell you a little bit about how and why you could have an artificer pretty much in any realm and where they might fit, like where they might be from and so forth. So there's some really interesting stuff in the background of that to tell you about, like, well, why and where and does it fit. And one thing that I sort of said in my DnDaily yesterday that I may have misspoke about maybe it wasn't really clear. I kind of said that the artificer is sort of steampunk. And on a certain level that's true. I mean, to me that's true. The flavor of it is true. However, I want to be really, really crystal clear. There's really nothing steampunk about the artificer. The steampunk refers to using steam power, even if it's micro steam power, like little tiny steam engines, is using steam power to create things. Whether it's a steam-powered backpack that gives you an arm that gives you super strength because it's the mechanical, pistons and all this kind of thing, or whatever, that's steampunk. The artificer is absolutely a magic class. It is an arcane casting class. The only connection between the artificer and steampunk, in my mind, was what I meant to express yesterday. The artificer uses tools as the channel for their arcane, their magical ability and prowess. They make things that they imbue with magical essence that then create their magical effect out in the world. A very simple example is one of the most commonly used and familiar items and sought after items in Dungeons & Dragons, the Bag of Holding. You take a simple pouch or sack or bag or backpack or what have you. You take a container and you, through magical means, through the use of magic, you expand the volume of it without expanding the actual pack. Like, I can make a sack that's like a Santa Claus sack. That's a huge piece of leather or material or cloth. But I'm not going to lug that around on an adventure. I want to have that volume of space, but I want the bag to be like this big so I can put it on my belt pouch, right? On my belt or in my backpack. So that is a simple thing that specifically an artificer can do and make, right? They can imbue magic into a small pouch to make it hold more. That's the kind of that's one of the kinds of magics that artificers are capable of doing. Now, any magic user on a certain level can create magic items like that. Artificers are just very highly skilled at it, and they are going to get access to doing that at fairly low levels, which is kind of cool. And they can also do it for smaller effects and for smaller amounts of time. For example, I'm going to give one more example, then I'll wrap this video. So, typical magic user, you have a light spell. Even clerics can cast light. They channel their divinity, their deity, they channel it, and they imbue some light into something. Either the tip of their finger, or their staff, or a sword, or the front of a shield, or a torch, or a rock, a pebble, whatever it is that they, or a room, just the room, they imbue light into that space. The way an artificer might do it is they scroll some magical runes onto, or they tap or imbue a device, a small piece of steel, or a something, piece of metal, strip of metal, or maybe it's a little clockwork item or something like this that hovers in the air. It's like a little clockwork fly that floats around in the air and sheds light or something like this. Those are the ways that the artificer is going to do it. They're going to imbue their magic specifically into an item. But the cool thing is that item is then permanently until they extend. So they have like 5 items, I think, that they can create essentially as super low powered magic items that will last for in perpetuity until they create a 6th, essentially. Sort of, that's how they work. It's pretty cool. Dig into it. Go check it out. The PDF is available online. Super easy to find. Just PDF Artificer just Google, search for Artificer Revisited. It's super simple to find, and check it out. I'm going to play it soon. I can't wait. I got to try this character class. I think it's really exciting to me. I have a million ideas about how I would love to play an artificer. So, enough about that. I'm going to move on. Tomorrow is another day. I started editing, and the next video, I have another Car Wars video that I'm working on. I will get back to some D&D videos. Also, try to get to that over the weekend to get you some more gameplay stuff. And, hey, thanks for checking in. I can't wait to see you at a table someday. But until then, keep rolling 20s.